I've been married to the most beautiful girl in school for 10 years, and she has never called me husband. The day she was kidnapped, no one was willing to take her place to bring her back. Everyone severed ties with her. Only I volunteered to replace her and was imprisoned in an icy water dungeon. But when she raised the ransom money, she aimed it at her crush. I want to save him. I didn't cry or scream. I simply asked her, if it hadn't been me who married you, would you be happier? Her eyelashes fluttered slightly. Finally, she lowered her gaze and, taking her first love by the hand, turned away. I'm sorry, I smiled. During these 10 years, I've heard the words I'm sorry countless times. I should have anticipated this result. I stood up, and at the last moment, I positioned myself in front of the gunpoint the kidnappers aimed at her. The corners of my lips slightly lifted. Congratulations. From now on, between you and him, I will no longer be here. When I opened my eyes, I was back to the day I confessed my love to the most beautiful girl in school. This time, I turned around and ran, blocking and deleting all her contact methods. But on the electronic screen of the building, her tearful face appeared. George, without you, I won't be happy. No. Chapter 1. When Willow arrives. Dress more elegantly and change out of that tracksuit. I heard my father's reprimand. I pressed the spot where the bullet had pierced my body. There was no hole. I've been reborn. It's the day Willow comes to the Wong family to choose her partner for an arranged marriage. Now I should get up immediately, fix myself up, and give the best impression when Willow arrives. After all, during the 4 years of college, everyone knew I was in love with her. Only she didn't know. So, in my past life, when she chose me out of all the men in the Wong family, I thought I was dreaming. But now, I just messed up my hair, yawned, and said, got it, Dad, get out of here. All right, dress well. Willow doesn't like messy men. I know. My father left my room satisfied. He knows I'll do everything I can to show Willow my best side. But he's wrong. The marriage between the Wong and Liu families brought great benefits to both sides. But Willow never smiled at me sincerely. Not even in bed did she call me husband. Once, she looked at me with tears in her eyes. Do I really have to stay with you for the rest of my life? I also asked her, if I had found you first, would you love me the way you love him? I received no answer, but a simple I'm sorry said it all. If happiness can't be forced, then each one should be well on their own. Just now, there's a business opportunity in Hong Kong with great potential. Within 10 years, its value will multiply several times. Now is the perfect time to seize it. I packed my bags, opened my phone, and Willow's smile on the wallpaper hurt my eyes. It turns out, when she wasn't married to me, her smile was so bright and warm. Thinking of her tearful eyes in my past life, I opened the agenda and selected the conversation with Makoto. 3203. District C Avenue. Come confess your love. Soon after, Makoto Ito sent me a question mark. Are you crazy? I'm not lying. Today is the day she comes to the Wong family to choose her partner for an arranged marriage. She doesn't like any man except you. You already know. The Ito family is also a branch of the Wong family. If Willow chooses him, it would also be a union between the two families. But the Ito family is on the brink of bankruptcy. Although a union between the two families could benefit Willow, she would gain nothing from it. So, after discussing with my father, we decided to exclude the Ito family. I admit I have personal interests. I know that if Makoto comes, I won't have a chance. But later, my wife looked at me with tears in her eyes. Am I yours for the rest of my life? Are you happy? I wasn't happy. In this life, let each one fulfill themselves. Chapter 2. I disguised myself as a plain and unremarkable person among the guests. Gazing at Willow, who was present at the event, she still looked just like she did in the last life, with cold and distant features, as if no one except Makoto could catch her eye. After rejecting the last cousin, she impatiently glanced toward the door. She then turned to my father. Mr. Wong, is everyone here? Father smiled. Well, there's one more who hasn't arrived yet. Willow, don't worry. I'm not worried. She sat upright, her gaze once again fixed on the door. In my past life, she also looked toward the door like this, longing for the arrival of the one she loved. But after a long wait, when he didn't show up, she finally raised a finger toward me, her voice as cold as ashes. Then it's him. With one simple dismissal. I had fought for her life and death for years. I sent a message to Makoto. Aren't you coming? The next second, the door was pushed open. The two of us locked eyes. It felt as though we were meant to meet at this moment in this life. Just like in the last one. I lightly curled my lips. I pushed down the brim of my hat and turned to leave. Willow, without me, will you finally find happiness? Silently, I said to you, congratulations. Thank you, but I don't plan on marrying you. Willow's words stunned all the guests in attendance, who didn't know that Makoto was the one she loved. But I had already left and had no idea what was going on at the scene. Makoto thought he had misheard. Willow, You've rejected everyone from the Wong family. Is there anyone else you want to choose besides me? Willow looked at my father. Mr. Wong, hasn't Gio arrived? Father was taken aback. Willow had always been indifferent toward me, and in the past life, she always called me by my full name. This was the first time she had addressed me so affectionately. That child. He had something come up just now and went out. Willow froze. What could be more important than being engaged to me? Father wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. It's fine, Mr. Wong. Willow sat there, resolutely. I'll wait for him to return. Father forced a smile. Willow, there are so many good men in the Wong family. Why do you have to wait for him? I only want him. Willow smiled. As soon as he returns, I'll get engaged to him. Mr. Wong. Father wiped his forehead again. Willow, you'd better stop waiting. Why? Willow blinked. Didn't he love me the most? At first, my father had thought so too, until I packed my things and came to say goodbye. He was taken completely by surprise, although he was upset about my sudden decision. After Mom left, he had been overly indulgent with me. After hearing my business plans and my disillusionment with love, he finally nodded and let me go. Father didn't know how to answer at first, but Makoto couldn't hold back anymore. Willow, he doesn't love you. Don't let him deceive you. If you don't believe me, look. He pulled up the chat history. Seeing the conversation, Willow suddenly stood up, grabbing her phone in disbelief. Her voice trembled. He asked you to confess to me. Makoto nodded. He never liked you that much. Everything in the past was just an act for you. I think he left in a hurry. Maybe he already has someone else he likes. Impossible. Willow looked up at Makoto, her distrust evident, leaving him stunned. George wouldn't do this to me. Mr. Wong. Willow turned to my father. You're not fooling around, right? As soon as George shows up, I'll go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to register the marriage. I swear as the eldest daughter of the Liu family. Willow, it's not that Mr. Wong doesn't want you to meet him. It's just, Father hesitated. He said he never wants to see you again in this lifetime. Willow's veins bulged in her hand. She opened her contacts on the phone, not believing it. How could he not want to see me? He clearly loves me the most. Until the message prompt was rejected, she finally swayed, almost losing her balance. Staring at the red exclamation mark in disbelief, she breathed shakily. He blocked me. Chapter 3. I heard today's the day Willow, the heiress of the Liu family, is getting engaged to the young master of the Wong family. That's not the Wong family, he's an Ito, the one Willow really loves. Remember? Oh, right. The Wong family was that guy who kept pestering her relentlessly. If I were Willow, I'd be so disgusted. Wearing sunglasses, I waited by the roadside with my luggage. Overhearing the conversation, I gave a self-deprecating laugh. That relentless Wong family guy won't be pestering her anymore. This lifetime, I'd rather roam free and live without a care. I heard Willow booked a giant screen just for today. Look, right there on top of the tallest building. They say 10 seconds of ad time costs $100,000. I pinched the bridge of my nose, feeling a headache coming on. Even though I've let her go, it still bothers me to see her flaunting her love with Makoto. Just as I was about to look away, a tearful face appeared on the screen. George, without you, I'll never be happy. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me and slid my sunglasses down a bit. The woman who once shed tears over marrying me was crying now even more than in our past life. George, I'm here for you today. If you come back, I'll head straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau with you, I swear. I must be losing my mind. Willow actually wants to marry me. Willingly. It must be a hallucination. Maybe my newly reborn senses haven't adjusted yet. George, I know you can hear me. If you won't respond, that's fine. I'll find you. People started whispering. Did I hear that right? Is our goddess actually confessing to that simp George? Aren't simps supposed to lose everything in the end? But that Wong family simp actually ended up winning. Their chatter forced me to face Willow's public confession head on. I patted my cheeks to snap myself out of it, double-checking that the person on the big screen really was Willow. But how is this possible? Could she truly have fallen for me? The moment that thought surfaced, I gave myself a slap. Insane. Hadn't I suffered enough in the previous life? Apparently, Willow's even more pragmatic than I expected. For the sake of a beneficial family alliance, she can still endure being with someone she doesn't love. That realization left me cold inside. My taxi arrived. I jumped in with my suitcase and left. No sooner had I gotten out than someone pointed at me. That's him. Grab him. I froze, noticing a dozen or so people rushing toward me. That's when I realized they were after me. Without thinking, I dragged my suitcase and ran. I managed to hide in a convenience store, but the clerk stared at me for a few seconds and suddenly shouted, "George, oh my God, you walked right in here." Frightened, I darted back out, taking shelter in a narrow alley. I finally fished out my phone to check the news. The moment I opened the app, a glaring headline caught my eye. Willow offering a 10 million yuan reward to any helpful citizen who can provide clues to my whereabouts. How did Willow become like this? When we were together, the thing she regretted most was marrying me. I'm stepping aside so she can be happy. Why is she clinging so hard now? I pulled my collar up to cover half my face, shoved my sunglasses firmly on, and made my way toward the airport. George. A chill ran down my spine at the familiar voice. I wouldn't mistake it for anything else. It was the voice that had called my name countless times in our past life. George, how long are you going to run from me? I heard high heels clicking behind me. Right as she was about to grab my wrist, I flagged down a taxi and jumped inside. Drive. As fast as you can. I kept my face hidden, worried even the driver might turn on me if he recognized me. The taxi sped forward. I glanced back. No one was following, and breathed a sigh of relief, until the driver slammed on the brakes and I lurched into the seat in front. Mister, someone's blocking the road. I looked up to see a supercar pull off a flawless turn and stop right in front of us. That license plate, it was Willow. "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, but you've got to get out. I'm not taking you any farther." Seeing the 5 7s on the plate, the driver, clearly shaken, hurried me out. I didn't waste any time. Once out, I sprinted toward a nearby residential area. No way a supercar could follow me into such tight streets. "George, stop." Sure enough, Willow got out and chased me. Took the bait. I circled back, yanked open the supercar's door, and slid into the driver's seat, borrowing this for a bit. I'll return it once I reach the airport. With that, I floored the accelerator and sped away. Chapter 4. I thought I had finally managed to escape Willow, but when the roar of an engine suddenly filled my ears, I was still startled. Seeing Willow riding a motorcycle and speeding up beside me, I couldn't help but feel anxious for her. Racing against a supercar, has she lost her mind? She gave me a hand gesture with her helmet on. Stop. No way. This time, I had made up my mind to never get involved with her again. To make her give up, I floored the accelerator, pushing the car to its maximum speed, leaving her behind. If she still wanted to catch up in this situation, it was akin to seeking her own death. But then, a dark figure shot past me from the side. I was stunned. The motorcycle overtook me and made a sharp turn, stopping right in front of me. It seemed I was about to crash into her. I slammed the brakes, and my head collided with the airbag. The door of the supercar was pulled open, and she slid into the driver's seat. "I knew you couldn't bring yourself to crash into me." I slumped back into the passenger seat, utterly drained. "What do you want from me?" She tilted her head and looked at me, a teasing smile on her lips. "You've been avoiding me. Could it be that you're afraid that when you see me again, you'll still feel something?" Her words froze me. Could it be? Has she also been reborn? Isn't it pointless to keep pestering me? I was irritated. I spoke the same words she had said to me 1,000 times in the last life. A brief flash of sorrow seemed to cross her eyes, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. "George, admit it. You're just afraid that you'll fall for me again, and I'll have you wrapped around my finger." "Bullshit. Then would you dare let me go with you to Hong Kong?" I was momentarily taken aback. She smiled at me, and for a moment, I lost myself. She actually smiled at me. "Since you're going there for investment anyway, what? Are you afraid I'll follow you and you won't be able to handle it?" Her goading was always effective. I grabbed the lighter and lit a cigarette in front of her. She froze for a second, but instead of showing the disgust she had in the last life, she didn't seem bothered at all. I had quit smoking for 10 years for her. I exhaled the smoke. "Fine, I'll go, but don't slow me down." She didn't mind the smoke swirling around me, and instead, she leaned in closer. "You're the one who'll slow down." Ha! In Hong Kong, Willow knew the place better than I did, because in our last life, Makoto worked here. I had suggested going to Hong Kong with her before, even making a 30,000-word travel guide, but all I got was her cold reply. "Is it fun? But I don't have time to play with you." This time, however, she was much more enthusiastic. One night, she pulled me to the hotel's floor-to-ceiling windows and pointed at Victoria Harbor. "The lights look the best at this time. Look." I wasn't really paying attention. "It's all right." The next day, she dragged me to Disneyland. From the entrance to the exit, holding a cotton candy and flipping through the photos of us. "Why don't you smile? The photos don't look good." I yawned. "I was dragged here by you. I'm not really interested." She paused, then smiled faintly. The next day, she took me to Victoria Peak, standing on top of Hong Kong and looking down at the entire city. "You said you liked climbing mountains the most." "It's okay." She looked at me, her eyes narrowing in confusion. "I remember you said you wanted to come here, did I?" I scratched my wind-tousled hair, not caring about my image in front of her. "Don't remember." It wasn't until we stood in front of the Tianten Buddha that I finally remembered. The itinerary she had planned was exactly the same as the one I made in my past life. It was a shame, though, that the trip was far more exciting due to the person accompanying me. I never cared much for the scenery. Now, Willow was a thing of the past, and even the places I once longed to visit were nothing more than fleeting memories. After she had prayed reverently, placing incense into the incense burner, she looked at the Buddha statue and asked me, "George, are you happy with me?" No, I couldn't lie in front of the Buddha. She turned her head to look at me. What if I'm talking about the time we spent traveling together? No. She pressed her lips together, her smile forced. Before, it was you who wanted me to accompany you here. Yeah, but it's too late now. The incense smoke curled, and her voice dropped softly. All right, I understand. After a pause, she continued, but I won't give up. She looked at me, in front of the Buddha. I won't lie. I lowered my gaze, and her bright eyes captured my attention. For a moment, I felt as if I had returned to the day I first met her. Her eyes, like a flash of lightning, struck my heart, and from then on, I dedicated my entire life to her. But that was all in the past. Do as you wish. I won't be with you. Whenever you regret it, you can walk away on your own. I turned and left. Chapter 5. Willow left faster than I imagined. The next day, when I opened my eyes, she was already gone. I called, but there was no answer, though I had let go of her. Out of a sense of humanitarian concern, I still activated my network to look for her. Seeing the unanswered messages, an uneasy feeling began to creep in. A few days later, after I had finished dealing with business matters, she still hadn't made any contact. Could something have really happened? I couldn't help but furrow my brow. Then, I received news from the mainland telling me that she had already returned. I let out a sigh of relief. At least she was safe. But when I got off the plane and passed by the park on my way home, two familiar figures stopped me in my tracks. There was no mistaking Willow and Makoto's figures. The wind blew through Willow's hair, resting on Makoto's fingertips. I heard him gently ask, "If he doesn't want you, I do." A piercing feeling spread from my chest. Although I had already planned to sever ties with Willow, I never considered her a bitter enemy. In fact, when she disappeared without a word, I was vaguely worried. If she simply backed off and parted ways with me, I wouldn't have felt anything. But now, she had come back without even a message, seeking Makoto while still harboring deep feelings for me. It was something I simply couldn't accept. It reminded me too much of my failed past life. Forget it. We should have no further contact. She was just a karmic connection I'd carry for eternity. I didn't alert them, quietly slipping away. Then I blocked every contact related to Willow and erased all traces of her from my life. From then on, I would have no more ties to the past. The business deal in Hong Kong had been concluded, and from now on, I would only gain, not lose. With that behind me, I began to consider traveling again. The reason I had chosen Hong Kong in my past life was because Willow loved it there, but the places I wanted to go were somewhere else. Now that I no longer had a travel companion, I decided to see the world I had always wanted to explore on my own. But on the day of my departure, Willow knocked on my door again. "How much longer are you going to keep this up?" I was getting a little impatient. Willow, however, stood with her hands behind her back, leaning forward with a smile on her face. "Did you forget? Today is my birthday." I rubbed my temples. "Go celebrate with Makoto. Why come to me?" "But you're my husband." I shivered with disgust. "I'm not. Besides, we no longer have anything to do with each other. Don't come after me again." I turned to leave, dragging my suitcase, but she suddenly grabbed my arm. "George, are you done yet?" I turned and shook off her hand. "How many times do I have to say it? I'm done with you." "Done? You always wanted me to let you go. Now I've given you freedom. Why are you pestering me again? Didn't Makoto give you everything you wanted?" My voice was louder than I intended, which caught my father's attention. Seeing Willow's eyes red around the edges, he quickly punched me. "You little brat. How can you treat Willow like this?" The Wang and Lu families had been family friends for generations, and my father considered Willow like a daughter. I dodged my father's punch while trying to explain. "I didn't want anything to do with her. She's the one who won't let me go." "Ah. Sir, please stop." Willow blocked my father's punch. She turned to me, looking serious. "George, this is the last time I'll bother you. As long as you let me come with you, and spend my last birthday with me, after midnight, I'll never bother you again." I rubbed my forehead. "Really?" "Yes." She raised her right hand. "I swear, as the eldest daughter of the Lu family." I thought it over for a moment. "All right, you'd better keep your word. After today, no more bothering me. Her eyes brightened, and she jumped up to hug my arm. "Then let's go." I felt a strange tingle run through my body. It was rare for a girl to hug my arm so affectionately, especially when that girl was Willow. Chapter 6. Despite my many grievances with Willow, this was, after all, our last time together, and since today was her birthday, I didn't treat her too harshly. Even as we passed a roadside stall, I pointed at some red strings and asked her, "Do you like them? I'll buy them for you." I had no real hope she would agree. These few dollar trinkets were hardly something she would care for. I was just saying it out of habit. "Sure." When she smiled and nodded, I thought I had misheard. You would like something like this?" "I like everything you buy for me." For a moment, I thought the person in front of me, with those sparkling eyes, had been replaced. I bought the red string and tied it on her wrist. She held it up to my eyes to show the red beans attached to it. "Do you know what this means?" "No," I replied indifferently. "You're so silly." She tapped my forehead with her finger. "Haven't you heard of this? On the exquisite dice, embedded with red beans, it symbolizes deep longing. Do you know what it means?" I froze for a moment. I really couldn't stand her clingy, sweet demeanor. "Say this to Makoto instead." I couldn't accept sharing a romantic phrase with someone else. She smiled and didn't seem to mind. Watching her cherish the inexpensive red string, I felt a little guilty. "Let's go shopping. I'll cover all the expenses. Is this your gift for me?" She blinked. "Something like that. I haven't had dinner yet." She laughed softly and hugged my arm. "You don't have to stay with me. I've already prepared everything." The door to the hotel opened, and a huge birthday cake and piles of gifts filled the room. I froze. Are these gifts from someone else?" "No, they're all for you." I pointed to myself. "For me? But today's your birthday." Willow smiled, her eyes crinkling with warmth. "Yeah, this is me making up for your birthday. Come take a look." The birthday gifts were neatly organized into categories. Each pile was labeled with an age, from birth, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all the way up to 32. 32. In my past life, Willow and I had married at 22, and 10 years later, I died for her. I had celebrated over 10 birthdays with Willow, and yet, she never remembered my own birthday. Is she making up for the birthdays I missed in the past life? Clearly, it's your birthday, but you're celebrating for someone else. I looked at her. "Are you moved?" She tilted her head, looking at me. "Moved?" I answered flatly, without emotion. If anyone did something like this, anyone would be moved. If anyone else did it for me, I'd feel the same. The implication being that this gesture wouldn't make me change my mind. "I know." She lowered her gaze. "I didn't expect to change your mind." Hearing the slight sorrow in her voice, I couldn't bring myself to spoil her birthday. "Then, what do you want? I'll make it up to you." Well, it seemed she had been waiting for this moment. "Will you accompany me to a Buddhist temple?" Chapter 7. I accompanied her to the Buddhist temple, where we made offerings. She took out a ring. The design was strikingly similar to the wedding ring we had in our past life. "George, I have one last wish. Will you help me put it on?" I furrowed my brows. "Are you asking me to propose?" "Ha ha ha." She laughed out loud. "So, would you?" In front of the Buddha, one could not lie. I shook my head. "I wouldn't." She continued smiling but sighed. "I knew you'd answer like that. Don't worry. It doesn't have any special meaning. I just wanted you to put a ring on me. I swear on the Buddha. After midnight, I really won't bother you again." I sighed and slipped the ring onto her finger. She gazed at the ring for a moment, then gently leaned on me. I stiffened, but out of respect for the final moment, I didn't pull away. "George, I love you." I responded lightly. "You can't lie in front of the Buddha. That's why I came here to tell you." It was madness. I furrowed my brows. At first, I really didn't like you, but after 10 years, even a stone would have been warmed by the heat. Stop. I didn't want to hear any more. I remembered the past life, and I didn't want to listen to her anymore. She could always manipulate others' feelings so easily. "I'm not lying. George." She rested her head on my shoulder and looked at the lights below the mountain. "I know you hate me, and I don't ask you to forgive me. My biggest birthday wish is still that you can be happy forever. You're acting so strange today." I lowered my gaze, only to notice a few drops of blood on the back of my hand. "Willow." I pulled her into my arms, and there was blood at the corner of her mouth. "I'll take you to the hospital." Just as I was about to pick her up, she raised her hand to stop me. "Don't, it's too late, it's midnight." The sound of the temple bell echoed. My breath trembled slightly. "Midnight, what does that mean?" "My time is up, in the last life. I should have died a long time ago. This life with you, I begged for it." "What are you saying, George?" Her bloodied lips curled up slightly, and she raised the hand with the ring. "Thank you for putting the ring on me. I truly love you." Her hand fell into mine, and the space between our palms was filled with slick, warm blood. Her eyes reflected the lights from the thousands of homes. I wish time could just freeze. At this moment, the person in my arms was silent. My hand stiffened. I suddenly felt an emptiness in my heart. Chapter 8. Willow's side story. I knew from an early age that I was just a character in a novel. By chance, I discovered my fate. It was to be shot in the heart by a kidnapper. But tragically, by this point, I had already fallen in love with George. I wanted to begin accepting the love he offered me. to bear his children, and grow old with him. But fate played a cruel joke on me. With only a few years left to live, I looked at the man sleeping beside me. My fingers lightly traced the sharp contours of his face, and I couldn't help but cry. By the time I die, he will be 32. There's still so much of his life ahead. Let him hate me. Let me be the wicked woman in his heart, the one who loved another man. That way, when I leave, he can easily let me go. I threw all the birthday gifts I had prepared for him into the fire, even the roses he gave me. Then, when he comes home and sees the ashes of the roses, I'll coldly smile at him. No amount of roses will create love. Don't waste your efforts. The day the kidnappers took me, I never thought he would die for me. So when I had the chance to redeem someone, I chose Makoto without hesitation. I knew the plot. The kidnapper's target was me. The ransom was just a way for him to seize my assets before I died. That bullet would pierce my chest as I walked away with Makoto. I didn't regret it. When he saw me choosing another man, he would surely let go of me. But I never expected him to break free from the plot and step in front of the gun. I made a pact with the system, to reset everything to how it was before. Even though my death had been blocked by him, and this life would allow me to live 100 years, I didn't want that. I wanted to save him, even if I could only live until my next birthday. But I didn't expect that he, too, had been reborn. Perhaps this was fate's way of allowing us another chance. We still had a few months together. In the last life, I made him chase me for so long. What's wrong with me chasing him this time? If I don't succeed, it doesn't matter. After all, I am a dying person. As long as I can relive the beautiful moments we once had, even for just a moment, it will be enough. The most important thing is to say the love I couldn't express in my previous life, in front of the Buddha. One cannot lie. Husband, I love you. In this life, may you live a long, healthy life and enjoy happiness.